It's the grandson of Right Thought. And welcome to the School of Marvelous Light, little flockulators. Bright and early this morning. As y'all can see, the sun's about to come up. I am the light of the world. Y'all know who said that. But right now we want to focus on what did he mean? Because like you guys already know, the grandson gonna focus on what something means. Because that's what it is. You see? It's like a name. A lot of times you'll meet a person, and when you ask them what their name is, you just hear the sound of it, and you think you know their name. For instance, if a person you met him and his name was David, you would call him David, and you would think his name was David. But if you knew what his name meant, then you would know you're actually calling him beloved or beloved. You see that? So it's that way with everything. So that's what you're really saying when you say David. Y'all see how that's working? I mean, I know it just seems like, yeah, okay, all right. But when you really understand the depth of it, then you understand how that works with everything in life. How there's a layer. And the layer is what people think it is, like they do with that name David. Most of the world just thinks that way. That's why I'm drawing your attention to it right now. But you got to be not like unto the world and think different than they think. See, but a transformation of your mind obviously means you're going to think different, right, little flock? So now, the light of the body. What is the light of the body? The eye is the light of the body. So Christ says, I am the light of the world. And then we see that the light of the body is the eye. So then we can deduce, y'all understand, little flocculator? We can flocculate and understand because of this flocculation that we've done, that Yahusha is saying that the part of the body which he is the eye. Y'all hear that, little flockulators? That is the part of the body that Christ is. Where is your eye? You all know where it's at. Is it on your butt? Where is your eye? Is it on your toe? Where is that, little flock? It's on your head. You see that there? It's in your head, however you want to say it. Head. Now, what does the Bible say about Christ? Christ is the head of man. See that there, little flock? So he says, if your eye be darkness, then the whole body is going to be full of it. So then if the head of your body is deception, is a liar from the beginning, and abode not in the truth because there is no truth in him. Who is this liar, little flock? Now that we've lifted the veil off that nigga that's been hiding so long, it's the carnal mind. Soon as everyone on earth realizes that that's their enemy, then they'll stop fighting what they think is their enemy, which is somebody outside of themselves. Where is your carnal mind at? In other words, when you see something and you think a sinister ass thought, where did you think it? And we all have thought it, so it ain't no need to nigga sitting here acting like he ain't never did that. See, people think because they can disguise what they've done on the outside, or as Yahusha says, they wash the outside of the cup and platter. People think because they've done that, then they've done a good thing. But according to Yahusha, have they? So then why would anybody continue to go along believing that they have done something good when they've cleaned the outside of the cup and the platter? Why would they think they've done something good? Because men judge the outside. That's why they think they've done something good. So then if you think that that's something good by how it looks on the outside, so I'm going to clean the outside of it. If you think like that and work like that and do works like that, then who's your father? Because who's your head is what I'm asking you. Where are you getting your thoughts from? Could it be that darkness? Like that vain, idle shepherd has? His eye shall be darkened. You got an eye like him? Because you listening to him, which ain't nothing but the carnal mind. That's all it is. So don't be afraid, little flockulators. I know they try to make you afraid because you little lambs. But there ain't no need to be afraid when you got a shepherd like we got that's going to shine that bright light and vanquish any nigga thinking he coming up here saying something other than the truth. We ain't playing no games over here at the School of Marvelous Light. It was nothing that the world could do to stop this truth from coming forth to a people that had been enslaved, did not know who they were, didn't even know their own language, didn't even know where they had come from, don't know their own damn history. Everything that's taught about them is taught to them by other people other than their own people. And you're telling me that, oh, it's just by man's workings that we've come out of that state and risen up to know exactly who we are? You don't think that's Abba that's done that? Because believe me, the grandson knoweth exactly who he is, and I'm walking in it, ain't I? Yeah. And just like I'm telling y'all today, the light of the body is the eye. So he said, let thine eye be single. In other words, don't be double-minded concerning something when you think about it. Oh, it's good. No, it's evil. Oh, it's good. No, it's evil. Oh, it's good. No, it's evil. Where did that mindset come from? Where did that knowledge and how to think like that came from? You guys think it came from a good source? Well, it came from a source that Abba said don't partake of. So then do you think it's good? Okay, let me make it in layman's terms so everybody can understand the source that I'm talking about. It's called the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Did Abba say, go ahead and run on right there to that tree right there, called that knowledge of good and evil tree? Run right to it, grab all the fruit you can grab and eat it all up. Is that what he said? No, it ain't what he said, little flock. So ain't no need in acting like that's what he said. Matter of fact, he said, don't eat it. But then there comes another thought that says, not. So do you guys understand how deep that is? That one little word that the enemy uses against you? I'm going to tell you how deep it is in case you don't know how deep it is. Everything that you do in life comes forth from the Father's name, whether you think it does or not. If you want to be in that room, then who's the man that's in there when you are? You would say, I am. Okay, is that God's name? Gosh, golly, it sure is, grandson. You got me in that trick bag again. Yeah, I always do. Like I told you, I know exactly who I am. And when you know exactly who you are, then you know what powers you have. For instance, if you're Roy Jones Jr., then you know you're faster than anybody else that comes against you. So you're going to use that to your advantage just like he did. Aren't you? All right, then. If you're defensive and your defensive skill is impregnable, then you're going to use that to your advantage. You need to know your strength. Well, that requires you to know who you are. See that there? So I know what my strength is. You see it? So I am is that one that's in that room. So like I said, it all depends on how you take the Father's name to determine where you end up or what you become. Like I said, that's the Father's name. Desire to become. So now, back to this word not. Who is your enemy if you desire to want to be something? Who is going to be your enemy? Not is. Can you guys follow the grandson? Can you? Not is your enemy. You see, when you fall down some stairs and hit your head on some shit, you're going to have a big ass what, little flock? You're going to have a big ass knot on your shit. That knot going to remind you not to do that dumb shit you did that caused that knot to be up on there. You got drunk as hell at the bar, walked over to another nigga talking shit, and he clocked your ass in your jaw, and you woke up with a big ass knot. And you said, I am not doing that shit anymore. You see what I'm saying to you, little flock? It's your enemy. Not is your enemy. The enemy to your light. See, because when you have a thought that brings light to the body, in other words, it enlivens the body. A quickening spirit means to enliven. Quickening means to bring life to. So when you have a thought that's spiritual, it enlivens the body. It feeds the body, which makes it alive. See, the sincere milk of the word. The word is the truth. The truth is in that light. What is that light? It is the eye of the body. What do you do with an eye? Come on, grandson. Can they keep up with you? Because I'm about to skirt, and I'm still keeping the speed limit. So don't call the cops on the nigga. Just cruising. But can y'all keep up when I switch these lanes on y'all? Can you keep up with me? What I'm saying to you. I'll give you guys a minute to percolate and marinate, see if you can catch up with me. You use an eye to see. And Christ told you that that eye is the light of the body. So now, are you able to see something when your eyes are closed? Yes. That's the eye he's talking about. See how I can make it so crystal clear to you? That's the eye he's describing. Now, when you're using that eye, which you call your imaginator, you see, because that's what that is. It is your imaginator. It is the eye you're seeing what you imagine, or in other words, what you think. So when you think, it broadcasts an image and your eye looks at it within yourself. That's the eye. Now, what are you looking at with it? Because if you're looking at something wicked, then it's darkness and it makes the body die. But if you're looking at something righteous and holy, then it causes the body to become alive. So choose this day who you'll serve. Don't be double-minded. Let thine eye be single. And if thine eye be light, the whole body be full of light. Do y'all hear what I'm saying to you? So when you're using that light in you and it causes your light to shine, then have you become the light of the world? Yes. Well, how come people don't walk around talking like Yahusha? Because they're scared to, for the most part. And then the ones who aren't scared to don't know how to. You see how it is? Abba only wants a certain people to get the information. In other words, the Father is only revealed by the Son, and the Son chooses who he reveals the Father to. So it's not like you did something that caused Yahushua to say, hey, you are so cool. You did something so amazing that I want to reveal my Father to you. That's not how it works. He just decides on his own. And he decides by what he sees on the inner workings of a man, his heart. Yeah, that place where you're using that eye. The reins of a man. A reins are what you use to pull a horse back. So then, in other words, he's looking at a man to see when he looks at his mind, what that man is looking at, what he pulls himself away from looking at. So in other words, some men restrain their hand from cheating with another man's wife, or in other words, committing adultery. Some men restrain their hand from doing that. But then there's another man that restrains his eye from doing that because he knows that if he does it in his heart, then he hath done it. Oh my goodness, gosh, golly. So do you see how he says he searches the heart and the reins? The Father's eye is ever on the Son. If you guys can understand what I'm saying. What am I saying? I'm saying the Father is constantly looking at what you're looking at. What you're imagining. Are you crucifying Christ? Y'all understand the question now? Now that I've described to you this secret place where these secret things go down, where Abba is actually looking, not man. Man don't know how to look for nothing. He look with his two eyes. That's what God said. And that's why they can't hear what I'm describing. They don't know what I'm talking about. And actually, only those who have the seed in them actually will know what I'm talking about. Do you understand what I'm saying by saying that? Everybody's not going to have this, what I'm describing. It's only for the elect, for those who are chosen. And those who see the truth and to see it, they cannot be deceived. When you realize what I'm telling you, that there's a place in you where you're imagining, then you're going to start to roll your sleeves up once you understand that that's what's determining what you experience. Because that's what you're praying. That's the prayer you're praying. You just didn't know that that's praying. It's seeing something as though it is. Yeah, because if you're seeing it, that means you're there. Who is that one that's there? I am. So then what am I? Am I afraid? Well, then I'm taking the Lord's name in vain. If what I'm imagining is causing me to feel fear. Because God looks at something and you think he feels fear when he looks at it? Come on, grandson, can they hear you? That was the trumpet. Can y'all hear me? When you're looking at something, see, people do this. Watch what I'm describing to you. Something happens out here that causes them distress. And then they go into their private place. Maybe they're just sitting there in their house and they're doing this, what I'm doing right now. And you may be sitting right next to that person and they're just somewhere else. They're like this. And then you go, hey, and they go, huh? You literally shock them back into reality, or as you call reality. You shocking them back, and they're like, huh? And you're like, damn, you were gone there for a minute. What were you doing? Oh, shit, man. I'm deep in my thoughts, man. Deep in your what? You were actually looking like this, which means your two eyes weren't looking at anything. Your eye was looking at something. What was it looking at? And how did it make you feel? Because that's what you're going to experience. That sets a man free, and none of you people listening to me can deny it. Now, do you wonder how I got that information to set men free like this? Where do you think I got it? And the moment that men see that I have it and can't deny it, they say, how? Well, what must I do? And when I tell them what to do, they run away. They all have, for the most part. I could tell them all kind of carnal stuff to do. I've done this, so I don't want anybody trying to play no games with me. We've been around the ring around the rosy a few times already. We've been around the block, and we've seen. Like I said in my song, I've seen. And I'll tell you what I've seen. When people see virtue, they come to it and they say, man, damn, man, God's in your life. Shit, tell me how the hell that happened. And then you tell them, and let's say you start off with stuff like this. Well, and let's just say you're just testing them. So you say like, well, you need to change your diet, man. You need to eat better, eat clean. You need to exercise. You need to wake up early, man. Stop staying up all late eating junk food. You need to cut out the smoking the cigarettes, man. Cut out that drinking on the weekends and all that stuff. Then God will be pleased with you, man. And then he'll lift you up like he did me. And see how that just sounds good? Oh, man, you got to start having sex, man. Start be celibate, man. Semen retention. See how all this sounds good to a man? And he's going to run after it and do it. Or try to and attempt to. And he'll work at it and labor at it. And he'll fall. And he'll come back to you saying, oh, man, I tried, man. Had sex last weekend, man. Got drunk, man. Damn. I was tripping, bro. Shit. Man, can you pray for me, brother? I get back strong again. And that's all y'all gonna do. Because that means you're not free. Skating deedly. That means you're not free. You keep running back. You keep going back and forth. But that's what happens when you sell people that stuff I just told you. That's vain labor. But it sounds good. Like Yahushua said, outwardly, they do appear righteous unto men. It indeed has an outward appearance of righteousness. He says that. So that's what I'm telling you. I'm describing it. The outward appearance of righteousness is that man eats good, exercises, all strong and everything, all diligent and determined and disciplined and gets up on time and does everything he's supposed to do. That looks good to the eye. And men judge that as righteousness. But men don't judge the way God judges. Bam! So stop trying to act like you do. Hate the fact that y'all do that. Make me sick to my stomach. Because I know God's judgment. And I'm trying to help you understand it. Because that's what the Spirit will do in the last days, according to Yahushua. Because the world is wrong concerning judgment. So he's got to correct it. And I'm telling you, I'm correcting it now. I'm showing you. The light is in you. So why are you sitting up here talking about it somewhere else? In other words, the truth is outside of me. That's why it happened to me. That's called the blame game. Did it ever succeed? If you blamed, did it ever help you get better as a person? No. So then why the hell do you think it's profitable to do something that doesn't benefit you? That's so silly to me. That's silly. It doesn't benefit me, but I'm going to keep doing it. Why? If it's vain. Because it makes me feel good for a moment. For a moment? What I have makes me feel good continually, constantly. All I have to do is never depart from it. I only feel bad when I depart from that truth. So long as I'm with this truth that I have, then I won't feel bad or feel sad. I always feel like a conquering lion. That's what I am. Isn't that what you hear when you hear me talking? Or do you hear a wimp? What do y'all hear? Somebody who's afraid? Somebody who's skeptical about what he's saying? Somebody who doubts that what he's saying is true? Somebody who's actually worried? Or do you hear somebody who speaks with authority as if he knows exactly what he's talking about, knows exactly who he is? Right then. So since I know that, then I don't care if another nigga tries to say it's not. It doesn't matter what you say. I told you my enemy is not. I am. So if you try to tell me I'm not, I know who you are. Let me prove that I know who you are. Abba says if we eat of that tree, we shall surely die. You shall not surely die. He said every word God said, he only added one word. And do you know what that word was? Go ahead and open your mouth and say it. So you have to admit the grandson know exactly what he fucking talking about, don't you? Yeah. Not die. Oh, well, let me try it then. Oh, shit. My eyes were open. Which eyes? Because you're supposed to have an eye. So which eyes? The knowledge of good and evil. So when you're living, you're in a constant state of disarray because you have no peace in your house. Why? Because you have one mind telling you that what you're doing is good, and you have another mind that's accusing you, constantly telling you what you did is wrong. So you cannot have peace in your house when they're divided. A house divided cannot stand. Your eye has to be single. So either I am good or I am evil. Which one is it? Because you guys every single day are going back and forth, warring back and forth within yourself concerning whether you are good or whether you are evil, aren't you? And you're doing that based on what you're doing physically in the 3D, aren't you? Well, that's wrong. Somebody's deceived you into doing that because I am what I am before the world was, nigga. Don't you understand that? So if I am what I am before the world was, then what the fuck can I do in this world to change that? Now, there is no condemnation to those who be in that light. There is none. But those who dwell in darkness, they are already condemned, for they condemn themselves. I am evil. They're saying it every single day. Well, when he comes like a thief in the night, you better hope he don't come when you say that about yourself, because as a man thinketh, then so shall he be. You want to be that shit eternally? Because when I'm saying I am safe and I am secure, guys, you think you want to play with the grandson of right thought doctrine? That sounds so simple, but yet it confounds every last one of you niggas on this earth with guaranteed proof. I can do it to anybody. You step up, I'll show you. I told you niggas this. I ain't playing with you. It's the last hour and I ain't got time to play. Y'all may be offended I'm talking like this. Well, I will refer you to the Bible to a man named Elijah and look at how he talked to them prophets of Baal that was deceiving his people. Look at how he talked to them. Did he mock them? Did he talk his shit and pop his shit? Well, maybe you need to read and see. And when you read it and you see, you ain't going to look at me and you going to be like, damn, that nigga right. Now I'm DEAD. Yeah, I whack moles. You a mole? I can't see, so I must be a mole. Shit, let me get back down in the darkness. Don't worry, I'll help you. Bong! Now that nigga going, ching, 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 lee, ching, ching, lee. Turn that nigga Chinese when I hit that nigga. Ping, ching, ching, ping. Shit, jing, ying, ping on that nigga. Turn that nigga to Xing Ying Ping. Shit. Y'all hear me, little flock? I ain't playing with these niggas. I ain't got time to. I'm saving souls. I ain't got time to be playing. Do you? When a medic is on the battlefield, he sees his men falling around him. Do you think he has time to sit back and relax and think about what he wants to do and think about his own life even? No. He gave up his life for his friend's sake to run across the battlefield to patch up their wounds and get them back up on the battlefield saying, look at this truth. Look how it polishes you up and make you back strong again where they can't kill you. He said, if you keep my saying, you'll never see death. So I keep his saying. What you keep? You're going to hear a lot of niggas. I keep Moses' saying. Okay, we'll go right on ahead and keep his. Do you keep the word of his saying when he said, there shall come another one after me? Hear ye him. And if you don't, you'll perish. Did you keep that word of his? Slicer! Don't fuck with the grandson. I told you. You're going to get sliced. Then I'm going to stack your ass up nice. Shit, that's what's going to happen. You may end up with a plague of lice. And the shit won't be nice. You fuck around, it might hit your ass thrice. Got my ass flowing like Obi Trice. Not playing. Okay, little flop? So what you need to know is that light is in you. And when it's on, then you become the light of the world. In other words, like the grandson is telling you, hey guys, this is what matters. This little thing right here. It seems so insignificant. That heart of yours, that imaginator within you, it seems so insignificant, but out of it come all the issues of life. Isn't that what the Bible says? So out of it came all of creation. Everything that's seen came from Christ. He created it all. I told you what Christ is. It is the imaginator within you. It is your heart. Who do you think What do you think Christ is pleading to? Who do you think Christ is teaching within you? Do you know that there are heartless people on the earth? Those are called tares. Yahusha don't know them. But there are people who are called wheat who actually have a heart inside of them. Those are his sheep that hear his voice. Those are the children of love. In order to love, you got to have a heart, don't you? You can't be heartless in love. But look at this world. I'm heartless. I don't give a fuck. Shit, I don't give a fuck about nobody, man. My heart turned cold long ago. All right, well, the Bible said a lot of men's love will wax cold, but he didn't say that was a good thing that was happening. That means you are a faithless, perverse ass, bitch ass, coward ass, poop butt, dick in a booty ass nigga. That's what it means. Oh, grandson, I'm ready to kill you. Now, that feeling you feel right there that you're ready to kill me because you feel insulted by what I said, even though I told you the truth, and now I've become your enemy. I want you to look in the Bible, and I want you to read about the prophets and how the people felt when they talked. Did they ever go, I don't want to hear this shit, kill that fucker? Did they ever do that? No, ain't no way they did that, grandson. Read about Stephen. When he said something, it pricked them to their what? It says their heart. And they stopped their ears. And they cast him out of the city. And they laid their coats at a man named Saul's feet. And they stoned his ass. So what you say? All right then. Like I said, I know who I am. So I know why what happens happens. When I feel these words come up into my throat to come out of my mouth, I know why they are. I know exactly why. They got to cut you to the bone of the marrow, expose the intent of your heart. If you're a murderer and yet you're sitting around me going, hi, grandson. I'm your friend. Yeah. Don't I look like a cuddly little bunny? A nice companion to have all lifelong friend? And then I go, you ain't no fucking bunny. Get the fuck out of my face, you wicked ass fucking devil. Then his little bunny disguise starts to melt off and his gangly ass teeth start to coming down and he starts to coming out of that fucking body that it would look like a little bunny. And the real true him comes out. I've seen it too many times happen. You tell somebody the truth, they get mad as hell at you. Watch this, little flock. I'll use this as an example. I was on Facebook many years ago. I'm not on Facebook anymore since I've been translated, out of the world. But I was. And while I was on Facebook, I was getting transformed. The transformation was taking place within me. So I started to speak different on Facebook. And I told my people, specifically my brothers, that they were a unique, chosen, special people, according to the Most High. And because of that, they had to live a unique, different type of life. And that unique, different type of life is living from within outwardly and no longer outwardly in. Which means you see something, you respond to it by feelings, and then you react. That's how we used to live. But it's time we change that and live the way we are. Because what we truly are is we live from the inside out. We stand still and we see the salvation that we have seen within ourselves. If you see it within and you believe it, then it's going to happen. Because that's what Yahusha said, and I believe every word that he said, because by every word of the mouth of God, I shall live. So I do live. I tried it. It works. So there's no need in me saying it doesn't work. That's like somebody giving me a key, and I say, this is the key to the car. Are you sure? And they go, yeah, it is. And I stick it in and it doesn't start the car. Well, that ain't the key for the car, obviously. So I go back and I say, hey, this is the wrong key. He says, oh, sorry. Yeah, this is the right key. And he gives me the other key and I go back and I start it. Then it worked, didn't it? Then I'm going to take that key and go on with my car and go on with my life, aren't I? That's what I've done. Because I got the keys. I got the keys. And so I'm trying to give them to you guys if you're willing to receive them. But it's up to you, because I can understand why it would be a strange thing to hear what I'm telling you, because you feel powerless then. See, that's all it means. When you don't believe what I'm saying, it's because you feel weak. When you don't believe what I'm saying, you feel like you're incapable of having any authority. When you don't believe what I'm saying, and you see why you're offended at my authority? See, that's all that it is. I am what you want to be, and that makes you mad. Well, I am what you are. You just don't know you are. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. If they knew, then they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't crucify me because they're mad about something they don't understand. Isn't that so easy to get? They wouldn't be killing me if they knew what I'm offering them. See? And the same thing here. If you actually understood what the grandson of right thought is offering, then the whole wide world would literally stop and listen to what I have to say. And that's how serious it is. And that's why God tells the world to listen when his son speaks. That's why he says, hear ye him. That's why Moses said, hear him, or you're going to perish if you don't hear him. Y'all see that little flock of laters? Y'all see it? It ain't hard to be understood. Matter of fact, like I said, it's real easy like. So now, like I told you, focus on that light within, because out of it come the issues of life. And if it's darkness, you're going to have dark issues. Now, what's darkness mean? Darkness means fearful. So consider today, do you feel fearful inside? Why? It is because of what you're seeing. What are you seeing? Now, you can choose what to see. That's the point. You can choose to see life and peace or death. Which are you seeing? Well, how do you feel? I feel anxiety, grandson. That's death, isn't it? Yeah. That's what's got you feeling anxiety, fear for your life. How should we feel about our life? See how Yahushua gonna give you rest if you listen to what he says? I says, take no thought. Don't worry. Don't worry about your life. Don't stress about that. Okay, you're right. You're right because I'm right because God is right. See, people don't understand who's talking to them. And that's what I'm telling you, little flock. How can God not be the one speaking if the speaker is telling you what God wants you to know? I think I'll finish this message right on there. Shalom, Israel.